In a bustling town surrounded by mountains, there lived a wise old clockmaker named Elias. His shop, filled with intricate timepieces, was a hub of activity. People came from far and wide to admire his craftsmanship and to purchase clocks that seemed to tick with a personality of their own. But beyond his talent, Elias was known for his profound understanding of the value of time. One sunny morning, a young man named Amir entered the shop. He was restless and ambitious, filled with dreams of success but struggling to find direction. He had heard tales of Elias's wisdom and hoped the old clockmaker could provide guidance. "Welcome, young man," Elias said, looking up from a clock he was repairing. "What brings you here today?" Amir shifted his weight, unsure of how to articulate his thoughts. "I want to achieve great things. I'm willing to work hard, but I feel like time slips through my fingers. I don't know how to use it wisely." Elias smiled knowingly. Time is indeed a precious commodity, but understanding its value is the first step to harnessing it. "Let me share a story with you." Intrigued, Amir leaned closer as Elias began. Many years ago, there was a talented painter named Sophia. She was renowned for her stunning landscapes, and people would travel for miles to see her work. However, despite her success, Sophia often felt overwhelmed. She struggled to find time for her art amid the demands of life and the expectations of others. One day, while wandering through the forest for inspiration, she encountered an elderly woman sitting beneath a large oak tree. The woman's face was lined with age, but her eyes sparkled with wisdom. "You seem troubled, young artist," the woman said. "What weighs on your mind?" Sophia sighed. "I feel like I'm constantly running out of time. I want to create masterpieces, but life pulls me in every direction. I fear I'll never achieve my dreams." The woman smiled gently. "Time is a river, my dear. It flows continuously, and while you can't control its current, you can choose how to navigate it. Let me give you a gift." She handed Sophia a small ornate hourglass. "This hourglass will not alter time itself," the woman explained, "but it will remind you to value each moment. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, turn it over and take a deep breath. Use that time to reflect on what truly matters." Grateful yet skeptical, Sophia accepted the gift and thanked the woman. That night, she placed the hourglass on her desk and began to paint. Whenever she felt rushed or anxious, she would flip it over, take a breath, and allow herself a moment of clarity. As days turned into weeks, Sophia found that the hourglass helped her focus on her priorities. She learned to say no to distractions and commitments that didn't serve her creative goals. She dedicated time to her art, ensuring each brushstroke was intentional and meaningful. With newfound purpose, Sophia's paintings flourished. Her landscapes became more vivid, capturing the essence of the world around her. People began to notice the depth and emotion in her work, and her reputation grew. Eventually, a famous gallery invited her to showcase her paintings. On the night of the exhibition, Sophia stood proudly in front of her creations, surrounded by admirers. She realized that by valuing her time and focusing on what mattered, she had created art that truly resonated with others. Years later, as Sophia continued her journey as an artist, she often reflected on the wise woman and the hourglass. It had taught her that while time was finite, how she chose to spend it was entirely within her control. By valuing each moment, she transformed her passion into a fulfilling life. Elias paused, allowing Amir to absorb the story. "You see, young man, just like Sophia, you have the power to shape your relationship with time. It's not about how much time you have, but how you choose to use it." Amir nodded slowly. But how do I find that balance? There's so much I want to do. Elias smiled. Start by identifying your priorities, what truly matters to you. Set aside time each day for those passions, whether it's work, relationships, or personal growth. And remember to be present in those moments. Time spent in distraction is time wasted. Inspired, Amir asked, but what if I still feel overwhelmed? Use your own hourglass, Elias replied. Whenever you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, take a moment to pause. Reflect on what you've accomplished and what you still want to achieve. Reassess your goals and remind yourself that it's okay to take one step at a time. Amir left the shop feeling lighter and more focused. He began to implement Elias's advice, setting aside dedicated time for his dreams. He found moments to reflect, creating a balance between ambition and mindfulness. As the weeks passed, Amir noticed a change. He was more productive, more present in his relationships, and he began to experience a sense of fulfillment that had eluded him for so long. With each step forward, he learned to cherish the journey rather than obsess over the destination. Months later, he returned to Elias's shop, a broad smile on his face. Thank you for your wisdom. I've learned to value my time, and it's transformed my life. I feel more in control and more connected to my passions. Elias beamed. That's wonderful to hear. Remember, the value of time lies not in how much of it we have, but in how we choose to spend it. Make each moment count. As Amir left the shop, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He understood that time was a precious gift, and he was determined to make the most of it. Years later, as Amir pursued his dreams and helped others along the way, he often reflected on that pivotal moment in Elias's shop. He carried the lesson with him. Time is not just a measure, it's an opportunity. How we spend it shapes our lives, our relationships, and our legacy. Value each moment, for it is the currency of life.